Pryde's Picks is spoiler heavy and full of crude language. I swear like a sailor, and Lockheed's no better. Consider yourself warned. Hey everyone, it's July 3rd and I'm here with this week's Pryde's Picks. We are going to start off with a smidge of DC Comics, jump into a butt ton of Marvel, wrap it up with a little bit of Image and Boom Studio Comics. Let's start with my good friend Batman at Batman Incorporated issue 12. Now, as we all know, this is the series where Damian died, and I rage about this guy's art every freaking issue, Chris Burnham, and it is written by Grant Morrison. Now, the art is awful, and I'm not going to be able to say it enough. I can't stand reading this book for the art. But what it's lacking in art is kind of making up for in momentum right now. Batman has gone after Leviathan, and he is ready to kick some ass because he killed his son. And he is after Talia and everybody else, all of her goons. And he is kind of letting himself go, and he's filled with grief, and he is lashing out against everyone. The book had a lot of momentum. The art sucked balls, but I was definitely shocked to see what the Leviathan looked like underneath his helmet and what Talia was doing and the reaches she would go to get her way. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but it's twisted and it was fun. And if you can squint a little while you're reading it, Chris Burnham's art isn't that awful. So I'm going to give it a, I'm not going to say buy it now, but wait for the trade. And then just pretend the art's better than it is. But this book was actually pretty entertaining, and Batman is losing his shit. Let's move on to Marvel with Avengers vs. XMen What If Issue 1. Now this is one of 4, and I was very excited to pick it up, because what if to me meant, what if we didn't have an Avengers movie coming out when this event dropped, and what if we actually made it look like the X-Men could defeat the Avengers, which in my belief, we totally could. Well, it looks like they decided what if wasn't that. It's not like, I don't know, Magneto could defeat Iron Man or Namor could defeat Thing. No. This is, what if we made it a completely different story arc and still fucking retarded? So we're going to rewind all the way back to right before Hope Summers has the Phoenix Force coming at her, Magneto's training her, Scott's trying to help her out. Everybody's all about Hope Summers, right? The Avengers find out, and the Avengers are like, well, fuck, we gotta do something about it. Once again, Wolverine is siding with the Avengers, and he's like, I'll kill her if I have to, bub. And the Avengers send some people out into outer space to intercept the Phoenix Force. Why they think this merry band of misfits can intercept the Phoenix Force is beyond me. None of them seem telepathically, capable of even dealing with the Phoenix Force. Whatevs. This is what if. This is what if Marvel had nothing better to do than shit themselves and write some bull crap and send it to you and make you buy 4 issues of what if A versus X wasn't over. The book was lame. The ending was great. Somebody actually fucking dies. But because it's a what if series, we know none of this is going to stick. It's just like a meh, just because. I do like the fact that people are dying left, right, and center. And I like the fact that for once it feels like, people are getting kicked in the gut. What I didn't like is when I flip to the end and I see issue 2, and the cover looks like the Phoenix Force might be imbued in those Avengers that went into outer space. Can you guess what Avengers it is? The ones that are truly worthy of the Phoenix Force. You ready for this? Thor, Vision, Nova, Miss Marvel, and Black Panther. Do any of these people seem like they are capable of containing the Phoenix Force? I don't give a fuck what they do in the next 3 issues. This is going to be crap. I think it should have just been some team-ups, some fight-ems, some let's pit the Avengers versus the X-Men and let the X-Men fucking win and call it a day. I would buy those books. This book is shit. Piss on it. Fuck you, Marvel. Ugh, I'm so mad. It could have been so cool. And it's not. Speaking of not cool, an event that never seems to want to end is the Age of Ultron event. And so we are moving into Avengers A+1, issue 1, Marvel Now. Basically, when Pym did his magical thing and stopped Ultron from killing the entire world, it had ramifications. Now there's a small team of merry misfits banded together that are going to try to stop the ramifications. You have Monica Chang from S.H.I.E.L.D. You have Victor, who is one of the runaways, and Ultron's son / Vision's brother. You have Vision, you have Pym, and then you have random Doombot number 47. Just a Doombot that Pym has just calculated to get him to work for him. And honestly, the best part of this book was the Doombot. The Doombot was like just every shape and form, just verbally assaulting them as he helps them, because he doesn't want to help them, but he's being forced to help them. As much as I like that, I can see after one issue of it getting old. Like Deadpool talking to the freaking viewers. I just think it gets old after a while. So this issue, the only fun thing was the Doombot. Everything else was kind of shit. I really don't care about the Age of Ultron event. I don't care about the ramifications. They're obviously going to fix stuff in this. And what's going on in this doesn't seem to be affecting the verse right now. So I feel like it's a contained little thing. And obviously, we're going to come out on top. I would say pick it up, look at it on the shelf, read what Doombots think of working with all these other people, and then go buy something good. Moving on to The Superior Foes of Spider-Man issue 1. Contrary to the adorable cover, this book isn't nearly as cute as you think it's going to be. This book is about the Sinister Six, except that there's only 5 of them, and they address the fact that there's only 5 of them, and never say, oh, we're missing one, let's, like, find somebody else. No, they're like, yeah, there's just 5 of us, but we want to keep the title. Which seemed kind of lame. Like, throw a random person in there just to make it a Sinister Six for now. It's narrated by Boomerang, and he's in jail, and he's talking about how his friends are there to help him out, and you got Shocker and the Beetle and all these other little chumps helping him out, trying to get him out of jail. And he's saying how we are not just villains with a cause, and we are not villains to be taken lightly. Like, we are stand-up fucking bad guys. We are horrible people. You shouldn't mess with us. And as you're flipping through the book, you're realizing that this guy is petty. This guy is lame. His friends are awful. His friends are just idiots. He's tricking them, and they're believing him. And these are, like, the most ridiculous minions. They aren't even villains, man. They should just be somebody's little minion on the side, helping some big, real freaking villain out, because these guys are fucking losers. In the end, they come off petty. In the end, they come off trite. And I am now stupider for reading this book. I couldn't even enjoy backstory on anybody, because it was these villains stroking themselves off, saying they're so cool, when in fact, they suck. This book was crap. Rip the page off with the cover, maybe frame that because it's really adorable. And then shit on it. Skip the pips, go straight to a shit. Or a number 3, which is 1 and 2 put together. Let's move on to Deadpool Kills Deadpool, issue 1. I am not a fan of Deadpool. I am completely over him breaking the 4th wall and being crazy and saying funny things and eating chimichangas. And so I read this in hopes that I would enjoy Deadpool killing Deadpool. Turns out there are Deadpools in different universes, and some of them are being killed by a Deadpool. The only good thing about this book is that I feel like I am the Deadpool in the black uniform that is killing all the other fucktard Deadpools. I feel a little vindicated in knowing that he is killing some of these asswipes. Now, I did not like when Dogpool got killed. Spoiler alert, he shoots Dogpool. Does Dogpool stay dead? That's up to you to figure out. But overall, this book was fucking lame. I'm sorry. There was nothing about it that entertained me. It ends on a big cliffhanger. Deadpool's coming after Deadpool. I didn't think that there was anything about it that was particularly moving, but if you're a huge Deadpool fan and you love just sucking his dick all day, I'm going to end it and say you should pick it up, look at it on the shelf. Do not keep it unless you're a Deadpool fan. And man, I really hate the idea of somebody paying money for that book, so don't buy it. After Marvel's blatant disappointment this week, I am going to move on to Image Comics in hopes of something better. Let's start with 5 Weapons issue 5. Now, I have been reading every single one of these books. They're cute. This kid is in this school of assassins, and each assassin team has different skill sets. There's 5 different skill sets on how to kill people, and he's supposed to choose a skill set. And he refuses to, so everybody's fighting him, and he's coming out on top because he's thinking with his brains and everything else. And it's been cute. The whole time it's been really cute. I definitely thought book 5, the final exam, meant it was the final issue. I thought it would be a 1 of 5, and that was it. And thankfully, towards the end, you find out there is a book 6, so I'm excited to see where this continues. But it is definitely a climax of a story arc, and I enjoyed a lot of backstory coming to light and figuring out what the heck was finally going on with this kid's backstory and his family. If you've been reading 5 Weapons, this is a book to definitely get. If you haven't been reading 5 Weapons, I would say wait for the trade, because I'm sure they're going to put together all 5 of these issues and pick it up and read it. I really enjoyed it. It was cute, and the art was anime-y, and I enjoyed it a lot. I would say wait for the trade. Moving on to Image Comics, 10 Grand issue 3. Now, as you all remember, we talked about this a few weeks ago, and Joe is kind of like a Constantine character. He can talk to angels, he can talk to spirits, and he does a little bit of sleuthing on the side. So something kind of like a pushing daisies on crack. Well, Joe has decided to take this gig from this girl where he's going to find her sister, because it turns out that it's kind of connected to what happened to him way back in the day and his wife. Except that he never takes her 10 grand, and we're on issue 3 and he's still doing the job for her even though he still hasn't gotten paid. The backstory in this issue is intriguing. You get to find out what happened to his wife. You get to find out how he met his wife. It doesn't really move the main story arc forward, but the art is dark, it's complex, it's different if you don't want the usual Marvel DC bullshit that they keep throwing at you. 10 grand is something to pick up and read. I would say this issue is I don't want to say buy it now either. Wait for the trade. I don't think you need this right away. But there is some awesome backstory. Let's finish this week with Boom Studios' Next Testament, issue 2. Now, the first one we talked about before as well. This book has this godlike being coming into the world, and he's telling everybody he's God. Well, he has this one guy that's kind of like a follower, and he gets this guy to pull together this big dinner party. And then he reveals himself to everybody. And I enjoyed how dark this is. It's a little political. It's a little hard to follow for somebody like me who just wants action and dialogue. It's a little more backstory. But when you grow up going to Catholic school and you grow up religion class every day and every Wednesday night is Sunday school and all that other crap, you kind of want to steer away from something that's God-related. This is like a darker, dirtier version of if God came into this world and he was very disappointed in us. So it's twisted and the art is dark, but it's odd and enjoyable at the same time. I like this book, and the ending of this book was pretty badass, so I would say buy it now. I don't want to give away too much. I want you guys to read it for yourself. But God is not happy with us, and he's about to let us know. We are going to wrap up this week with me telling you that there is an amazing Kickstarter out there right now. This gentleman, he Facebooked me and asked me to take a look at it, and it was adorable. He has a comic book series he wants to bring to light, and he needs your help to get it to happen. He needs help getting this amazing colorist to finish the pages, and it is called The Kings of the Wastelands. I will put a link in my summary below if you want to go check out his Kickstarter, or at least check out his book. But if you're into indie comics and you really want to support a good cause, I think this guy is really it. I really enjoyed what I've seen so far. It's a post-apocalyptic world. There are no humans, but there are animals who are human-like, and they're running around trying to survive. It was dark, but it was fun. The only thing I hope is that the writing can get me to forget that I'm looking at animals. Because as soon as I look at it, they're just so cute. I want to be like, oh, look at those squishy faces. So I want the writing and the script to be dark enough that I forget that they're animals and I just feel for them. And if that can happen, I swear this book is going to be awesome. Go check it out. Before I finish this week, I wanted to say, did you happen to notice my very adorable necklace? It's resting right above my boobs. Look up. Higher. There it is. This is the X from the X-Men, and it was made by a good friend of mine, Ari. If you'd like to get your own commission jewelry, it's relatively inexpensive, and he will work with you to get you something you love. If you go to Facebook and go to What's Your Passion, he has a fan page there where you can contact him and talk to him directly. I will also put a link for that in the summary below. But he has Spiderman rings, Spiderman necklaces, a Green Lantern ring, a Legion ring, a Fantastic Four charm. Anything you're looking for, he can make, and if he doesn't already have it, he will pull it out of his butt and make it happen. So go check out his page. And good night, everybody. Mwah.